All right, three, two, one, gravy. Hey everyone, welcome back to Nefarious
Oh,
Reels,
that's it?
episode 8. I'm your host, Cole.
And I'm gravy. That's why Cole said that.
Yep. Yeah, one of the best movies we have seen on this podcast. Not really.
Thankskilling 3.
But we're not talking about that one yet. We're going to talk about the retro movie first, which was my recommendation, Hard Ticket to Hawaii from
Yeah,
the year 1987, directed by Andy Sidaris, is I believe how you say it.
yeah. Go on, Cole.
And
Please tell us about your 3.1 rated movie on Letterboxd.
I didn't even realize it was that highly rated.
It was.
Hmm.
I was doomed from the start, but another little thing for me. Yeah, you could tell us
Yeah.
about the movie.
All right. So basically, the premise is you have this guy, Rowdy, who's a DEA agent on the Hawaiian Islands, and his two friends that are also agents, Donna and
No,
Taryn.
no, no. One is an agent. The other
Oh,
is a
right. The other's a
civilian.
witness protection
Yeah.
program. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at the IMDb. So oh, it does even say, yeah. An undercover DEA agent and her civilian friends stumble upon a drug trafficking operation and have to enlist the help of all their colleagues and friends to go after the vicious drug kingpin, who's Mr. Chang
Oh, I
and
thought it was
Seth.
Seth. Oh.
Well, Seth is the main head, but then you got the main boss that was Mr. Chang.
I honestly forgot about him until he showed up at the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, he was like in it for like two scenes where he's just talking on his fucking phone.
His fucking phone. Get
I know he's
real.
get real. Yeah, he does that, and then he just like and then they just show up at the end and just spoiler alert, kill him.
Which I think they had to do like a second take because there's that first one where it looks like it's gonna fall in the
Yeah.
trees and it cuts to them and then he just cuts to them falling on the ground.
Yep.
So anyway,
All right.
I liked the movie. It was very
Okay.
charming. It had the cutest little opening credit scene.
I love the opening
It's
credits.
adorable. It's just moving
It was
these boxes
so
with their names on
fun.
it.
And you just got like the very generic 80s music playing in the background, and it was like perfect almost.
It's just a piece of paper with their names on it, just stapled onto a box as they move them around in the warehouse.
A very clever use of an opening title sequence,
Yeah,
I would say.
it definitely sets us up for what they do in the movie
Mm-hmm.
because our main characters, Taryn and the other one,
Donna.
Donna.
I know.
I don't remember
I get
either
their
of their
names
names
mixed up so
actually.
much. I get their names mixed up so much. I honestly thought they were the same person at some points.
Oh, I
It
didn't
might be because
even
of the blonde hair. It might be whatever.
I didn't even bother memorizing their names. I was like, Cole, do it for me.
Yeah, I have them written down, and I also have the IMDb pulled up so I can specifically remember.
Which one's the agent? Which one's the witness protection?
Taryn's the witness protection. Donna's the agent.
All right, but they sell. So how the film goes? Wait, no, 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 no. This is your movie.
Okay.
I'm not following the same trap I did last episode where I explained about half of Thankskilling. You go,
Okay.
Cole.
All right. So yeah, after we get our cute little opening title sequence, then we meet our agent and witness protection friend, Donna and Taryn, and they work for the Molokai. It's Molokai Shipping, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, it was
Molokai Cargo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Molokai
Molokai Cargo.
Cargo.
Yeah, so they work for Molokai Cargo also, and they have to ship this snake for the Molokai wildlife exhibit.
Which is unknown to them is contaminated because some idiot in a fucking forklift broke the tags that warn, hey, don't you use this snake. This one's got fucking AIDS.
Yeah, but it said live snake on it. You idiots. But yeah, what we find out later is that snake is contaminated with like rat toxins.
It's like it has rat cancer.
Yeah, like a bunch of rat cancer.
They have it's like sick because it's been like in contact with rats that have cancer in them.
Mm-hmm.
You could have
Yeah,
just said it was an extremely poisonous snake. You didn't have to come up with a whole tragic backstory for it.
Yeah, we didn't need the whole like lore background about what happened. But yeah, when they're flying, they're also flying these like two people that like I guess are on their honeymoon too.
Yeah. Well, actually,
in
I
the
liked
back.
this scene when they were flying around. It was some nice landscaping shot.
Hmm.
That guy
There's some
who
really
did the
nice shots of this
cinematography for that
state.
part, he should have been in our discussion last episode for the best cinematographer.
Yes.
Even though it's very obvious that the people who are recording those scenes when they're flying in the plane is literally probably the Taryn and Donna, those actors, and the honeymooners.
Yep.
But, they were actually in a plane flying it when they were going through there. And not to mention the cool shot where they were taking the shot of the plane in the air. They're probably in another plane doing that shot. That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
I will appreciate the effort they did for that scene. And, it's a genuinely good scene.
Did you also notice the song that was playing in the background?
Yeah,
Hard
Hard
Ticket to
Ticket to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Well, I had the subtitles on because this film had subtitles,
Yeah,
luckily.
that's what I did
And
too.
it's basically, before the song started, it said, person, Hard Ticket to Hawaii. I was like, oh, that's the title of the movie.
Yeah, you had you snapped your fingers, point at the TV. It's like, hey, that's the title of the movie.
I was like, there it is.
There it is. All right, so back on to the movie. Yeah, so after they transport the snake, then then the drug lords or Seth they find out, and then actually before that they find out that there were diamonds inside the snake.
No, there were what are you talking about?
You remember the diamonds?
I remember the diamonds. They weren't in the snake. What the hell are you talking
Oh,
about?
not the snake. Where is it in the box?
No, oh my god, how can you forget? It's okay. Well, first, okay, now I see what it is. You're dumping it on me. You don't want to talk about
I'm
this
not
movie.
purposely doing this.
I know. I'm messing with you. Well, first you forgot they drop off the couple, and they're like, "Okay,
Yep.
have fun, whatever. Go over here, do your shit.
Oh,
We'll
right,
come
right.
back for you." But then, meanwhile, in the ocean, Mr. Chang or whatever his name is, he's like, "Oh, we're going to transport this payment, and we're gonna do it via RCA helicopter, because then we don't have to worry about customs or anything." And they send this helicopter up in the air. Oh my god, we forgot to talk about one of the funnier scenes of the movie when the police show up on the island.
Oh yeah.
How can we forget that iconic scene?
Mhm.
Two police officers show up to the beach and they're just like, "Oh, there's this family out here that grows weed. I'm gonna tell them, hey,
Oh yes, those.
don't do that."
Holy wow, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I did too.
But then we don't bother because it helps create local jobs and all that.
And they're like, "Wait a minute, this is way too big of an operation for me to be a family. We gotta get out of here."
And
But
and then they get caught through the little trap, and then they get shot.
yeah, and then they just get shot by your generic 80s drag pin baddies. Hawaiian shirt and all.
You got the fat Hawaiian shirt dude. You got
The big mustache guy.
skinny mustache
And you
dude.
got the guy with the shades, who is really evil. Because he's got those
Yeah,
shades on.
and he loves playing frisbee and holding an Uzi on his shoulder.
Exactly. That's the three quintessential things you need to be a bad 80s drug pin henchman dude.
No, known as Mr. Shades.
Mr. Shades. Also known as the frisbee
The
guy.
ultimate Chad.
The ultimate frisbee man.
Yeah.
But it's back now that we've talked about one of the better
Okay.
scenes of the movie. Jumping back over to the drug pin guy, they basically send a helicopter, and it happens they fly towards our dynamic duo, because I forgot their names already, and they're like, "Oh hey, there's a helicopter. Oh look, there's something inside, and the door opens. Let's take it." But unfortunately for them, the two henchmen guys, the Hawaiian t-shirt guy and the mustache dude, they show up, and actually, the first thing you see when someone's looking at a thing you're supposed to be at is to start fucking shooting at them.
Mm-hmm.
And take it away from here, Cole.
Yeah, so yeah, they get shot at, and then after that whole little scuffle happens, they decide, oh yeah, we almost died. Let's figure this out by going in a jacuzzi.
You forgot to mention that how they defeat him is that she throws the police baton she has at one of them, and the other one just pulls a fucking shuriken out of their boot that they just apparently had, and just threw it at him and pierced the dude's nipple. I mean, he was in that area, and he puts his hand on it for the rest of the movie that he shows up in.
Oh god.
But yeah, they do.
But yeah, they go in the jacuzzi topless, and there's many of those shots, and that's when I go, oh yeah, this is directed by a man, right?
They
go pervy 80s man.
They go in the jacuzzi, gather their thoughts, similar to ghosts can't do it.
Yep. And then they talk about it for like a minute or so about how yeah, they're diamonds, and then I think it was Taryn who puts it in like the freezer, but there's like two boxes though.
Well, they
And
only
then they
picked
get
up one box, and then
yeah, so they
Taryn
had
dropped
that
the other
one. They don't
one.
know where the other one went.
No, Taryn apparently knows where it is.
Oh, right. But that's more explained later too.
Yeah, that's explained like at the end. Apologies
Like
to
right at
people
the
who we're
end.
spoiling this film to in our spoiler film discussion.
Yeah. Go watch the masterpiece for yourself then. Yeah, okay. So then these, well, in the subtitles, they refer to as like thugs, and they're literally wearing knit stockings on their faces.
Pantyhose.
Yeah, like pantyhose. And they're trying to figure out where the diamonds are.
I always thought that was like a weird trope because I feel like you could still tell like kind of who they are like through like pantyhose.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you're not really covering your face up that well.
Like I don't know, maybe it's just like in a movies it looks weird. Maybe in real life it looks like different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe everyone who wears pantyhose over the head in like a robbery is just like a kink thing.
It could be some kind of, I don't even want to go into that a little more.
Oh, what am I unearthing one of your kinks right now?
No.
Oh, I see how
No,
it is,
I
Cole. Wink,
no, my mind
wink.
no, my mind just works really weirdly, and if I get into weird little sexual fetish talks, it gets weird.
Okay, well, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so then they steal the diamonds that were in the thugs steal the diamonds that were in the freezer, but obviously they wanted them to find the other set of box of diamonds that Taryn only knows where they are.
Right.
And they just kind of leave.
Once again you forgot they were split up because there were two thugs, and one
Yep.
takes them into like
Like,
the airport, their little airplane workshop thing, where they also put the very dangerous snake,
yep.
and she basically breaks out of his hold to try to get away, and they think of the snake unknowingly, freeing it, which means we now have a freaking menace snake going around.
And now we got a toxic, cancerous snake roaming around Hawaii.
They basically manage to get one of the diamonds, but the snake ends up going over where Seth, one of our main baddies, he's like,
Oh yeah.
Snake! And he shoots at it, which causes the other goons to try to run away so they can get away with Seth, who
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think was one of my favorite characters. Seth is goofy, and he also sounds like that English isn't really his first language, and he sounds constantly unsure of how he's supposed to say his lines. They're always a little off, and I'm somewhat
Yep.
confident he's reading off like a card.
Or
Like
like
off
someone's got
screen.
like a card right behind the camera while he's trying to read it
Like
from
occasionally
behind him.
you'll
Just
see
like,
his eyes dart off to the side a little before he'll say his line. So I think they held his card off to the side that he looked to say his
it
line.
might be possible.
I think that's what it is. And honestly, I'm all for it because he was charming.
He was decent. He was decent, but he's not my favorite baddie.
You like the fat guy, don't
No,
you?
Mr. Shades.
Mr. Shades. Oh yeah, he's pretty fun.
Yeah, Mr. Shades is awesome.
Yeah, but the bad guys get away, but not before Donna runs up with the gun and he fucking blasts him
Anyway, I started
across the chin.
blasting with my pieces.
Yeah, and we also get Donna's sad backstory. Just kind of gets dumped. My dad was a secret agent, and he died protecting me.
Oh yeah,
But
and
you
then
were
the
awesome.
picture was also broken. Yeah,
Well,
because the picture of him was broken too.
well, the picture frame was broken. The picture
Yeah,
wasn't
that's what
really
I meant.
broken. I don't know.
I
I
meant
feel
the
like
picture
films
frame.
always
Yeah,
treat it like when the picture frame's broken, like the picture's gone forever somehow. It's like that's just like a weird trope.
it's like
Another one.
yeah, the picture's still there. It's just
You
the
can just
glass that frames it is yeah
maybe the problem
cracked.
isn't that the picture's like I spent $200 on this frame. This frame was a family heirloom. I just had this picture of my dad in it for some fucking reason. I needed to fill the space in it. My
Yeah, so then there's that
father
little
made this
weird.
picture frame, and now it's broken. It's the only thing I had to remember him by.
Now it's gonna cost me twice as much to repair it.
Woe is me.
Yeah, but then after that little background dump, from what I remember next is then we finally get to see Rowdy again with Jade? Yeah,
Yeah,
Jade.
Jade.
Yeah. So then they get this message in a takeout container.
A message in a sandwich in a takeout container.
Yes. Which was weird. And then after they read it, instead of, you know how like in most of those like spy movies, they'll do that little this message and they'll self destruct. They just burn it.
Well, it burned really quick though.
Yeah, it was like super quick.
Also, a little side note: how many times do you think it took for that guy on the motorcycle to like hit that turn good to not fall out the dock? Because in my brain, I was like, please, miss don't take the turn too wide and just fall into the water, please. And it didn't happen, but I guarantee you that wasn't the first take they had of that shot.
If that was a first take, that's impressive.
But they get the message to get Rowdy to come.
Yep.
Because now they're on Seth's shit list. Diamonds or not, said we're on Seth's shit list because they just shot him across the face.
Yep. And yeah.
Oh, and they assume that they have the other package of diamonds, which they do not.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Edie's.
Oh, the Edie's restaurant.
We keep forgetting for a film that we both enjoyed. We do keep forgetting scenes.
I know. It's weird because this is kind of a movie where stuff happens at some points and then nothing at others. Or that's what I got. And then sometimes you just forget where some scenes were, but
well,
yeah,
in our defense for this one, the first introduction to Edie's isn't really interesting. It's not really till like after the fact when more stuff happens in it. But Edie's is a restaurant run by a lady who's Edie, who we realized is a
friend of our protagonist.
She's like, I don't remember. She says she was something. She was like a communicator or something, like a messenger. I don't remember, but she was something part of like the whole thing.
But she's well acquainted with who we're following in this film.
Yes, with Rowdy and Jade, and also Donna and
Taryn. Oh yeah. So then we get that little intro. That doesn't really matter too much for most part. The Edie's restaurant.
I mean, there are a couple side characters, but they're all just there for comic relief stuff. They're not important.
Basically,
we can just shove them at the end of the discussion when we talk about things we missed.
Yeah, you got like the weird, gross dude. You got Ashley, who's weird and gross.
You got
lots of the men are weird and gross.
Yep. Well, probably one of them's the director. Probably there's a sportscaster
would not
guy.
Be shocked. Yes, whose name is literally Jimmy John, and I can only think of the sandwiches every time I ever heard that name said like that.
Oh, I was thinking probably just a reference to Jimmy Johnson, that one football coach.
It could be.
He was also, fun fact, Jimmy Johnson was also on a season of Survivor.
With our guy, Fabio?
Yes, that's the one and only.
Judd.
But those are our side characters, those minor characters that we don't care about.
Oh, and don't forget Michelle, too.
Well, Michelle is important, but we're probably going to talk about Michelle later.
Again, we'll talk about that later, too. All right. So we go to Edie's. Oh, yeah, and so then Rowdy and Jade head out.
Yeah, they get in contact with Edie.
They're driving, and then once they're, they talk with Edie that they're going to be over there soon.
And we learned that Michelle is listening in on their conversations, which is set up for a bit later.
Yeah, which is also funny because it's like, it's never really that subtle. It's just like, all right, totally not doing any kind of wiretapping here. Not looking suspicious whatsoever.
She's that good at her job, Cole. You don't get it. That shows how much of a threat she is. She can do it in plain sight, and no one will question it.
And no one will ever want to, ask questions.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, but then we get Rowdy and Jade. They're heading out, and then they meet up with these two goons. One of them's just riding a skateboard with his hands.
Yeah, it's weird because it's probably they wanted to check to see if it was Rowdy and Jade. And so he's like, okay, I have an idea. Do you think that one of the guys like, hey, I can like skateboard on my hands. Can we like put that in the movie somehow? Wouldn't that be cool? And he's just sit there. He's like, what the fuck?
It's like,
yeah, sure, whatever. I'm trying to look at these women's tits. So they just drive by. It's like, well, that guy must be on like some doobies.
Yeah, he's like smoking all that marijuana, man.
He's hitting up that evil bong, yo.
With Tommy Chong, baby.
Yeah. But it turns out that guy, he was a goon.
He's an assassin.
Well, no, he's one of the two goons, remember, from the beginning attack. They get in a
Yeah, and
jeep
then
with
he
the fat
goes
guy,
back to the Jeep with the fat guy. He brings out a gun and a blow up doll.
and they somehow get ahead of them.
Yeah, like they were like it happens like twice in the movie where they're way behind, but then they get either close or ahead in like 3 seconds.
No, I think with the
It's
second
really
scene,
weird.
they take a shortcut on like a dirt path.
Oh, it's a shortcut.
Yeah, they take
I
a
thought they
shortcut in
were
the
just
second one.
going
In the first
speeding
one, I have
past
no
again.
fucking idea. I don't remember how they even got ahead, but they did
I
somehow.
don't even know. The fat Hawaiian shirt dude, he must have been pumping. He must have been putting that into acceleration quickly
He
and
was
on the
doing that
gas.
sweet, sweet Tokyo drift.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, but instead of just trying to shoot them from like the car, like a smart person, he gets back on the
He
skateboard and gets the blow up
skateboard.
doll.
What was the purpose of the blow up
It
doll?
was
I
to
don't even
block the
know.
gun, I'm guessing,
That's what I'm
which
thinking, but
didn't
it
work.
looked weird because even if you shoot through that, it's gonna still hit him somehow because it's not that good protection wise. It's not like a riot shield or a
Well, no, it
even a
wasn't meant as a
garbage can
riot shield.
top.
It was just to block the view of the gun, which didn't
Oh,
work
block
at
the
all.
view. Okay. Yeah, yeah, still did not work.
He did shoot the Jade,
He did. He
also in the
did shoot
nipple,
Jaden like the pectoral nipple area.
but the fool didn't realize he flexed the bullet out.
And then probably one of my favorite scenes that I was literally clapping at once it happened. Rowdy seems to really love that bazooka he had. And once you saw that guy go in the air, he just shot the bazooka and just blew the guy up.
Okay, well
He
we
blew that
we
one
have to
dude up.
probably set it up because that whole scene is funny. Basically, after the
Oh my
skateboard guy
god,
goes
it's
past,
so
they
good.
just back up into him as he's doing like this trick, and then he flies straight up in the air, and then he gets fucking annihilated.
You see him get annihilated, you see the blow up doll get
Yeah, he
annihilated.
turned in he's like, he's gonna blow up doll. But then, unfortunately for them, the skateboard got away.
Oh, no.
The true linchpin behind this whole operation.
The skateboard was the one that was always behind it.
The skateboard's gonna show up in Hard Ticket to Hawaii too.
Electric Boogaloo.
Everything's Electric Boogaloo with you, man.
Yeah. Memes.
Okay, sure. Electric Boogaloo, why not? Every sequel is Electric Boogaloo until proven otherwise.
Yes. Fuck yes. Okay, so then after we get that one guy getting annihilated with a bazooka rocket, so they go to the
Edie.
hospital to call Edie to be like, hey,
we were shot at, but that's the good news because we're fine.
Jade's
but our
all
car
right.
broke down.
But yes, our car broke down. So Edie was gonna come over and she like changed also, which I didn't understand that unless it was to obviously have more shots of you know what.
Yeah, exactly. This is Andy Sedaris we're talking about. Of course it
Right,
was.
Right.
But that's where we get our reveal because Michelle once again lets us in. And then later, in a changing room, it's revealed that Michelle was actually a man in drag the whole time.
Dun, dun, dun. Also named Michael.
Exactly. I mean, he was doing it pretty good. He fooled me.
Really good.
Until, like, he started talking.
Like, the changing room scene. And then that's when you notice, like, oh, wait, that's not a woman. That's a man.
A well-dressed
That's a
man.
That's a more manly voice, I should say.
I mean, he went all out. He committed to it, and I respect that. Oh,
yeah, definitely. That's like A+ costume work, I would say.
But yeah, Michelle, aka Michael, now undresses and gets in a whole suit and tie, 3-piece, and
then gets
pretty much
up in a
capture
van.
Edie.
Yeah, and then they catch up and capture Edie
because Edie didn't have a bazooka in her back, which she should have.
Sadly.
She could have backed her car into the van, launching it up in the air, and they could have blown it up with a bazooka.
Blown everyone up with that bazooka.
Yeah, it could have solved all their problems.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Nope, she just gets captured normally. And also, for some reason, there's a motorbike in the van.
Yeah, why didn't they use that?
Well, because for later in the movie, we know why.
Yeah, obviously.
But there's really no reason why they should have a motorbike in their van.
But why not have someone on the motorbike alongside with the van so that the motorbike can catch up to Edie, potentially?
I don't know. Well, they knew the shortcut, so they didn't need the motorbike.
I mean, yeah.
So Edie gets captured.
And then Rowdy and Jade get a little concerned because she wasn't there for a while.
I don't remember.
I totally forgot how they got there then.
I don't, but I will go off on a side note about the snake. I just want
Yes,
to mention a couple things.
the
Basically,
snake
the couple from earlier discussion, well, we get them taking pictures, but the snake attacks the couple.
attacks the woman first.
Yeah, we
As
don't know
they
what
were
happens to
taking
the
like
man. And then
it's she was
when
taking like Instagram model pictures almost, like 80s style.
when Dara and Taryn go to check on them, they find them brutally murdered.
And eviscerated
Yep.
by
Well, they didn't know it was the snake yet, but
yeah, they didn't know it was yet, and
they
then they
found the
figured it out.
picture of just the snake, and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's the snake." And then they, I
Yeah,
guess,
so then they called the Edie's restaurant to talk to Ashley, and they told, oh my god, Rowdy and Jade to meet them at their place instead of right at Edie's because it was very urgent stuff.
yeah. Also, Donna figures out that Michelle is the faker, the imposter, is
Mm-hmm.
the sussy baka.
The sussy baka.
Don't lie to me, Michelle, you sussy baka.
Get the Among Us music playing.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. But yeah, Donna figures out that pieces together really quickly, actually, that Michelle was probably tapping in their phone,
Yep.
and they come up with a plan to save Edie, who is being tortured.
Tortured.
We assume they shockingly don't really show the torture scenes.
She got like hit and slapped a couple times, and then it showed this like dominatrix looking lady with nunchucks.
Yeah, she had a name. What was it, like the instigator or something?
I don't remember.
She had like an official title. Wait, no. Now I not the name, but I remember what happened. They drove their car, Donna and Taryn. They drove their car to like a random sumo wrestling place to call
Oh yes,
Rowdy
that's
and
when they
Jade.
called. No, they called Ashley to let them know about Rowdy and Jade.
Yeah, because their phone doesn't work
Mm-hmm.
because it got cut earlier when the baddies first showed up to try to get the diamonds back. Look at us, we're remembering things about this movie we watched like a day or
That
two
we
ago.
both liked.
A movie we both liked that you watched yesterday and I watched 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us go. We're so
We're
good
so
at our
good.
job.
We're so good. Pat ourselves on the back.
Mm-hmm. But they come up with a plan to rescue Edie from
Yep.
the compound. They learn about a frisbee guy and how he loves to play frisbee
Mr.
with one of the
Shades.
local girl.
Named Colleen that we find out later.
Colleen. Yeah?
And also one of my other favorite scenes.
Yeah, where Rowdy comes up with the genius idea of putting razor blades on a frisbee.
I want to know how he didn't get cut at all when putting those razor blades on.
He
That's
was
what I want
just
to know.
that good.
That's what
This
I'm
isn't
thinking.
the first Mr. Frisbee Rowdy had to go against.
This isn't his first rodeo.
This isn't his first hard ticket to Hawaii.
Ooh, good tie-in.
Nice, thanks.
Nice.
But they basically...
But yeah, then we get Rowdy jogging along with Colleen, who's playing frisbee with Mr. Shades, still with the Uzi on his shoulder.
But he tosses it aside
on it.
because frisbee is more important.
Yeah.
And one-upping
And-
Rowdy in catching a frisbee.
Because he does it where he catches it, flips it under his leg, and then catches it again.
And throws it aggressively.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it's a little too aggressive coming from someone, me, who during cross country in high school, we always played frisbee whenever we had free time during practice. And I might have been critiquing it a little bit. And yeah, he was a bit too aggressive. The throw wasn't as crisp. No good flick of the wrist there. So I'm docking Mr. Shade's points, even though he's a Chad.
Well, unfortunately for Mr. Shade, his hubris ended up being his downfall. Because then Rowdy pulled out the
razor blade frisbee
first,
of death.
he pulls out a regular black frisbee.
Yes.
And then he pulls out the razor blade frisbee.
And then he's like, these are for the 2 policemen.
And then he throws it. And then
he throws it, he catches it in his neck.
Yeah, well, it slices through his hand somehow. And then it catches him in his neck. Because, you know what, Mr. Frisbee, He could have just moved out of the way. He probably saw the Rage of Blades and he's like, well, this is how I'm going to
No,
die for the love of my craft. It's how he would have wanted it to go.
probably. And then you see Rowdy with like that little fist pump that's like, yes.
And he lets him know, hey, the beach is nice. You should come down. Which begins the assault onto the compound to save
Hell
Edie.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it starts off with, I think it was Taryn. They're both blind and they look the same still. But yeah, Taryn, she drops noise grenades.
Yeah, she's in the flying machine thing that was shown when they brought their plane back to
Yep.
their place.
And then she's dropping the noise grenades, and then they begin the assault to save Edie.
There's a big shootout where Rowdy misses like every shot.
And Jade's like, you got to practice your shots, man.
Yep.
There was a lot of ducking for cover and shooting because of that. And then Jade's like on point.
Yeah, he just one shot, one kill, baby.
Yeah, he got that double XP.
Michael's also there, and he tries to kill Donna, but he gets killed, unfortunately,
Yep, by Donna.
by Donna. I mean,
Like,
it
literally
is
shot up
implied that Donna. I did say he was
huge blood
trying to kill
squibs.
Donna, but they pretty much go in. They kill everyone. Jade beats the crap out of just some guy with kung fu.
Because he's a kung fu master.
Pretty effortlessly too, actually. I thought there'd be more of a fight.
No, Jade's just too strong.
He's
kind
too
of like
cool.
Shaggy with his powers. It's like that.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, Rowdy got to use his rocket launcher again.
Yes, which I thought was a bad idea because that's in a enclosed space, and well, I guess it didn't necessarily explode.
It just blasted the guy out the window, which by movie logic, it kills you.
Yes, and there's no explosion ever whatsoever in there, which I thought was just weird, but
That
again,
was his anti-explosion rocket.
Oh, okay.
They forgot to
He
add
has
that
two
scene into the
different
movie.
bazookas.
No.
He
It's
forgot-
just different ammo. They
Oh,
just
it's different
forgot to
ammo.
shoot that scene when he goes, "Don't worry, this is my anti-explosion rocket."
Yeah, these are just the rockets that catapult people outside of the house.
But they
But then
successfully
they're- save Edie.
They oh yeah, I forgot. Our Hawaiian shirt guy and the girl try to escape in the helicopter, which I should note because we see the helicopter land, and for a good 10 seconds, I thought it was the mini helicopter that was transporting the diamonds.
No.
And then I was like, oh no, that's an actual helicopter. But they try to escape in the helicopter, but then Donna gets to use the rocket launcher, and she blows up the helicopter.
Oh yeah.
Big
More
explosion.
explosions.
Nice.
Michael Bay type.
Yep.
Like literally Michael Bay.
All I was missing was the rest of the compound exploding as they were driving away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, they drive away in the van, and they're talking about how, oh yeah, we killed everyone, we're so good. And then Edie goes like, who killed Seth?
Seth's still alive, and you're like, shit.
They're like, aw, shit. And they slam on the brakes, and Rowdy takes off in the motorbike in the van, which is why it's in the van. And then we cut to Taryn, who is now back at their place after a job well done. But unfortunately...
Usually Seth comes in. Enter Seth into the fight.
And then Seth gets his ass
he-
kicked around, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it was even more funny because when she was setting up the harpoon, he was basically knifing through those little blinds, and it made me think of the end of the original Halloween movie.
I was like, why does
Except
it...
Michael Myers didn't use his knife. He basically bursted through with his hand.
I was like, you already have a big enough hole. You can just put your hand through. Why do you keep trying to make it bigger? What are you doing, Seth?
Because he's a buffoon.
Yeah, well, he gets shot
He's
with...
your typical buffoon guy.
I guess that's true. Well, he gets shot with a harpoon. That doesn't kill him. Then he tries to stab Taryn, but Taryn manages to stab him with his own knife. And then that doesn't kill him. Then Taryn hides in the toilet, but then the fucking snake pops out of the goddamn toilet.
Yeah, the snake pops out of the toilet, and then that's what kills him.
Well, there's a huge setup for that, because first Seth, the baddies trip over the thing, like the septic tank, I'm assuming. They open that up. And then later, as they talk about the steak, because I learned that the steak's toxic, they got the wrong steak. They was like, well, don't worry, the health official said it should die from its own toxin in like 36 hours. And there's a scene where the snake goes into the septic tank, and then the next scene, the snake fucking shoots out of it like a fucking rocket. So Taryn gets out of there.
Rocket.
Yeah, and she hides behind the bed, which she had enough time for Seth to recover from his stab wound and walk into the bathroom, not realizing that she got out. And yeah, then the snake comes out, bites him, and then he dies of cancer, of snake cancer.
Rat cancer.
Yep, rat cancer. No, he just died. No, he just had a freaking appendicitis that killed him.
Oh, appendix. Okay.
His appendix burst and he died. That's why he was in so much pain in that scene. His appendix burst and he was just dying from that. And then fucking Rowdy bursts in through the fucking wall.
And then blows up and then shoots that fucking bazooka again that blows up the snake's head.
But only the head.
Only the head, nothing else. Not the whole snake, just its head.
Just its head. I was thinking...
Must have been the headshot only rounds.
Yeah, maybe. What I was thinking was going to happen was that the snake was going to like swallow the rocket and then it entirely explodes. So I was a bit let down when it wasn't that.
Yeah, that would have been much cooler.
That would have been too goofy. This is 100% serious movie, Cole.
That is true. We need to see this getting remade today.
I wouldn't mind a sequel.
With more killer frisbees.
Another killer frisbee. And the skateboard shows up. Revealing to be the true mastermind behind the first hard ticket to Hawaii. Yeah, Rowdy comes back. He has 2 frisbees. You get Mr. Shade's brothers. They come in. Professional, ultimate frisbee golf players.
But instead of razor blades, it's like ninja stars.
But instead, they actually successfully catch it, and then they're like throwing them back and forth to each other with like epic moves.
They're like doing those frisbee little trick shots and... Yeah.
It's very epic.
Oh.
But the film's not over yet after they save him, because now they need to go confront Mr. Chang.
They gotta meet up with the final boss.
Yep. The level 50 mafia boss.
And they give like a little explanation about his background, like as Taryn and Rowdy are walking in, that he's like half Chinese, half British.
Yeah, half Chinese, half British, raised in Hong Kong and England.
At the same time,
has like a bodyguard that loves inflicting pain, apparently.
Yeah, and then you see him and you're like, oh yeah, he's a meathead.
And then they beat the shit out of his bodyguard.
They take him down super easily.
And then he's like, I have a sword. He's like, but we have a gun. And then Donna has an even bigger gun.
And you brought a knife to a gunfight. Like, it's a sword, sir. It's a sword.
But then Mr. Chang did, he threw the sword.
He throws it and then he gets shot.
Out the window. And as we established, if you fly out the window, you die.
Yes.
Which, as we mentioned way earlier, looks like the body thing they threw out was going to fall into the trees. So they cut back to Jade and Taryn.
Jade. I think it was Jade, Edie. They're all out there.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to the body hitting the ground.
And then they defeated him.
Yeah, and then they go party on Rowdy's yacht.
And then Taryn explains about where the other diamonds are.
Yeah, she goes,
well, she doesn't explain.
No, you guys don't know where it is. I know where the diamonds are. And you guys are agents, so you have to return it. But I'm just a civilian, so, finders keepers. And then I'll share all the money with my friends.
And then they do the meme that, is this allowed?
It sure is. Then credits.
And then they laugh and drink champagne.
Forget about me.
I don't remember their fist bump being there.
Don't. That's always a song that plays when everyone's like, yeah, we did it at the end of everything. That's always like my go-to song I sing because it's funny.
I like it.
And that you should wrap it up.
And that is a hard ticket to Hawaii, baby.
You've got 'em.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that Jimmy John guy shows up at the end for like no reason, other than he's fucking Taryn.
Basically, that's all he's there for.
He's there for a joke because they're there to commentate like a sports thing.
And this guy drops the N bomb, and they drop an F bomb in there too.
The both of them, and they're like, "We're
And
fired."
but no, it cut off.
We're not fired, but you had to talk
No,
about
our
some old
jobs are
lady playing
saved.
golf. And that's the extent of those weird side characters, sports side characters. They're just there for a
Yep.
random joke. So Hard Ticket to Hawaii, good movie.
Did you also catch a bunch of the James Bond references they kept saying too in the movie?
References is putting it lightly. They were fucking hard drop
Well, they
names.
dropped the names and then they'd go like the martini, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, I mean, it was
And
pretty
oh fuck, what
obvious.
was the other one? There was an oh, one of them said something about live and let die and was like, oh my god.
They don't forget, Andy Sedaris also shows off one of his other films too, with the movie posters. Malibu Express.
Yeah.
That's one of them. It's even mentioned near the end of the movie. Is like, we need to go on the Malibu Express, which makes me wonder if there's an Andy Sedaris cinematic universe in the works.
Mm,
There's also a German poster, probably also another Andy Sedaris movie, but I couldn't figure out what
maybe.
it was.
Yeah, I couldn't really see what it was, so
Oh well, womp womp.
but yeah, that is the movie.
And with that discussion, let's move on to our next film that I recommended
Ugh.
because you recommended Thankskilling, and my pick was
Ugh.
Thankskilling 3.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what he says in the movie. Because you're such a hardcore fan, I'm so glad you memorized the lines. So,
I
Thankskilling
have
3.
so much to say about this.
Okay, nice. Hopefully not too much, because I gotta go work in an hour and a half. But Thankskilling 3, before I give the plot summary, I should note, was originally kickstarted. It had a Kickstarter to make a sequel, and the goal was $100,000, and it successfully raised $112,248. So it successfully made all its money. And so the plot of the movie is that Turkey ends up making a child-friendly sequel, Turkey in Space, which we were given a sneak, which was hinted at in the first movie. But apparently it's so terrible that they basically destroy every copy. So Turkey decides to basically find that last copy to bring a curse on humanity to kill everyone. Meanwhile, there's this Muppet character called the Nomi who loses her mind, literally, and she's on a quest to get
That
her piece of mind back. So she meets up with a guy called Uncle Donnie who's selling a Pluckmaster 3000, and he basically goes with him, and well, Turkey, I should know, has a family. Okay, you know what? Maybe I should stop trying to explain what happens in the movie. Maybe we should just start talking about the movie, because I feel like to
sure.
explain
Just
how
fuck
the
it.
ball really rolls, I'm gonna explain about half the movie anyway. So, Cole, tell us why this is your favorite movie you've ever seen.
This is the fucking worst. Like obviously you can definitely see the improvements in production value wise, but holy fucking shit, I could not stand this. There is no reason this should have been like 100 minutes long. It's so oh I'm trying to think of words, but I can't. I'm just so befuddled at how awful it is. I just can't.
All right, well, you can think on that, and I'll
Well,
start
those
describe.
fucking puppets, I think, is the annoying part because all of them are almost like canned South Park background characters and they just sound like shit. They look like shit. Everything's shit. I just, it's so annoying and all their voices. It was like, I wanted them all to die. And then Yomi's this fucking puppet from a first space generation. And then you get this stupid ass worm that fucked Turkey, and then this robot called Muff, which there was definitely a reason why it was called Muff, and it really was just super groan worthy. It definitely took itself way too seriously for me. Like you could watch the first one and be like, oh yeah, these guys knew that okay, this isn't gonna be like an amazing movie, but they knew what the assignment was. This movie, Thanksgiving 3, they decided to basically do a Saw spiral of Thanksgiving movies, and that they just went with that. And that is my Timmy rant of the day.
Okay. Well, that's our discussion of Thankskilling 3, everybody. Uh, no. I'm gonna let you know right now. You probably watched the wrong version of Thankskilling 3, because if you own the DVD like me, there's an option to watch the drinking game version.
There's a drinking game? Oh, fuck. I would have been blacked out by 10 minutes.
Well, don't worry. Yeah, basically, I should note I have the DVD of Thankskilling 3.
Please tell me what the drinking game is. I want to know.
I did not watch the drinking game version because it
Oh,
was late at night. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to get drunk
true.
because we were recording the next day,
Okay, yeah.
and I didn't want to be fucking hungover. And I also had work. Don't forget that.
Oh, true. Yeah, you
But
don't want
I
to be
should
hungover
interesting
for
thing
that.
to note is that I chose to not watch it with subtitle with the drinking game. And then I was like, and I checked and said, oh, this thing, it turned on subtitles. Oh, this has subtitles. But that just turns on the drinking game. So
Huh.
Thanksgiving 3 does not have subtitles. The subtitles thing just
Interesting.
turns on the drinking game. The drinking game is the subtitles. But yeah, there's a drinking game version, Cole. Don't worry. I'll send you a DVD copy and you can rewatch it and drink. Then you can.
Oh, yeah, you're sending it to the guy whose state is known for drinking culture, too.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Like the drunkest state in the country.
Yeah, exactly. See, so it works out. You should have bought.
Mhm.
What I'm saying, Cole, you should have bought Thanksgiving 3 on DVD.
No.
Support your local creators.
Fuck
Cole.
that movie.
But yeah, we open up with, of course, tits in the first second of the movie.
Of
With
course.
the
because
returning
that's how
of
you gotta
Wanda
start
Lust.
Thanksgiving up.
Wanda Lust
But-
returned for this movie, which was always nice.
This time as an astronaut, not a pilgrim.
Which gets blown up by Turkey. And basically,
Well, she gets like blown up in half.
right, because how terrible the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the implication, because Turkey basically is just... Because it's a kid-friendly version. You can't show blood and guts in a kid-friendly version. And Turkey,
But
too, in
tits
space.
is all right.
Well, yeah, babies get breastfed. They know what tits look like.
Okay.
But yeah, basically we get dropped a Star Fox reference, and then basically we get the credit scene where basically guys in hazmat suits transport a garbage truck to the middle of the desert, where it's revealed it's all Thanksgiving 2 merch, and they all burn it. DVDs, posters, a fucking Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 game, which is such a shame because that's an underrated console, the Xbox.
The Xbox.
That's what it was called. That's what was on the thing. I had
Yeah.
to check. They destroy it, and we get introduced to Nomi, which basically has a fun. I'm gonna say for the record, I like Nomi as a character. I found her kind of fun. She's goofy, like she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be like a knockoff Muppet.
I was thinking more Sesame Street.
Like either or. Well, I mean, they're both made by Jim Henson. So.
Same thing. Yeah.
But like the joke where they're explaining to her, she's like, she lost her mind, and then her mind literally just flies away.
This mine that looks like a fucking uterus.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if that's
you.
exactly what it was, but that's what it looked like. It looked like one of those plush uterus toys. That's where my mind goes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess so. That's how you interpreted it. But her mind goes away, so she basically goes explore to try to find her peace of mind, and then later get revealed. Turkey has a home life. He's got a wife that he hates. He has
Who's annoying?
Yeah, she's pretty annoying. She also has a son,
Nibla, who's
Nibla.
also annoying.
I like the puppet for it because it's so cheap and like dumb because it just moves up and down on a stick. And basically, Turkey's watching the news where he learns that Thanksgiving 2 was completely canceled and everything was destroyed. So in a rage,
Shelved.
yeah, shelved. So he kills his wife. She splits his wife in half, which is a cool little gore effect.
Like, that was a cool looking one, I will say.
Yeah, see, look, you're already praising the movie. You're already coming around on it. Cole.
No, that's the one. That's like one of two things I like.
If I'm lucky, by the end of it, I'll make you like 3 things.
Try your best.
I will. Well, you already mentioned your 2 things. This gore fet and the oomph in production.
Okay, I guess you can also say like some of the dubstep music was cool. Like the opening credit sequence with the burning of the Thanksgiving 2 copies with the dubstep upgrade to the theme is kind of interesting.
Yep, it was pretty neato.
Yeah.
But Turkey decides to go on a quest to find the last copy to get revenge for people to basically, destroying all his stuff. We then cut to Nomi, who's in the trash. She's in the dumpster where you would say she would belong. That's the joke you're going to come up with. Beat you to it,
And then
Cole.
she meets the trash man.
Yeah.
This talking fucking piece of garbage bag.
It was a cute little design puppet.
And then you get this weird also thing where
Animated
she's
cats.
got
Now
like
that
that
sucks
the
ass.
animated cat. That was so bad. That looks so bad.
Yeah, that was when I was like, oh my fucking god, this movie
And
sucks.
the song and the fucking song that plays too. It was like, oh my god.
It was pretty
Just
fucking
it was like,
awful.
kill me, please, now.
Yeah,
I
because
literally that was like one of maybe 20 points I wanted to tap out. But I was like, I have to watch this for Nefarious Reels. So
is that where you ended up giving up on like your first attempt?
no, first attempt was was like halfway through. It was like as you get to the part where like Rhonda Worm's talking about Turkey, and then you see Muff with the weird fucking walking thing, but we can get to that later. It was like that part.
All right. But basically, Garbage Man dies, and that's where Nomi ends up getting the movie Thankskilling too, because the
Because
last
the
copy got thrown in the
garbage
dumpster for some reason.
puked it out.
Yeah, the last copy for some got thrown in the dumpster. I'm gonna say it was like the master copy. I got like hiccups. Fuck. But that was like the master copy, I guess. Nomi climbs
The
out and sees the Uncle Donnie Pluckmaster 3000, which I forgot to mention. Cherky, when it says home, sees a commercial for the Plugmaster 3000 with Uncle Donnie in it. He's a key character because he comes out and Nomi runs into him. And basically,
and then she then they have like a conversation about wigs for some reason.
learns about Thanksgiving. And it's just like finds the Plugmaster 3000 poster with Uncle Donnie on it, and it mentions having peace of mind.
And that's where she thinks that she's gonna find her mind at.
Yeah, because she's thinking, oh, piece of like my mind, like he's gonna
Yeah.
have it, and so she pretty much follows him. And Uncle Donnie like allows it for reasons we get revealed later in the film. But they go back to Uncle Donnie's place, where there's the Michael, I think, head of security.
Jefferson. Well, Jefferson was his name, but his real name is Jeff.
Okay, Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
Yeah, and we get the worst character in the movie, the grandma,
Mm-hmm.
the rapping grandma.
Yeah, Lois or Flois, as she likes to be
They
called.
got the fucking manager puppet from Mr. Meaty, and they somehow made it look worse for like this scene. I'm so glad you got the reference.
If those puppets weren't terrifying enough,
That was the one joke that came to mind when I first saw her, and I was like, I'm gonna reference this. I hope that God Cole gets it. I'll be very upset if he doesn't.
no, I definitely remember watching that on Nickelodeon and being like, "What the fuck is this?"
But we get introduced to Jeff, Flois, Uncle Donnie goes is like reveals Thanksgiving Land, his plan to make like a Thanksgiving themed park, with Jeff being head of security.
Yep, with his stick. Well, his downgraded stick for right now.
It's going to be a pike, but at the moment it's just a butter knife
Mhm.
taped down a pole.
Yep.
We get introduced
he-
this cast of goofy characters.
Yeah, and then what happens? Well, like they show the concept for Thanksgiving Land. They talk about it, and
Well,
then
first he has to try to
Jefferson's like,
flip the light. Like
yeah,
switch.
he's trying to turn on the light, but he's like, I can't do it.
He's doing it with the pike. That's his bad
Like,
pike, which
why
is
don't
a
you
little
just
funny.
walk over and flick the switch, you dumbass?
The joke is that he really is excited for the
I
pike and he
know.
wants to use it for that.
I know what the joke is, but it's so stupid. I don't give a shit.
You're stupid.
No, you're stupid.
But we do get a little bit of a foreshadow when Nomi starts eating some food and a cockroach goes like, "Hey, I laid 300 eggs in that." But then Warren tells her that your peace of mind is in there, and he points to the furnace, which is a foreshadow to future events. We'll talk about that later on.
Yep.
But oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Basically, Cherky and his son are flying on a seagull cab.
And then the seagull also sounds like a South Park character. Like every puppet, probably except for like Nomi, probably Yomi, sounded like a South Park character, but like a ripoff one of for some reason.
Yeah,
Because
but
it was like that's what they knew what to do.
yeah, but Turkey knocks his son off, and then he fucking falls all the way down and gets fucking splatted.
splatted, and there's a sensor bar on it too. And then you see there's a little sensor bar on Turkey for his dick.
Right. Well, the humor is, I think it's funny that the son's still alive when he gets fucking splatted. He's just a little grill patty.
It's that little beak and then the eyeball, and that's it.
Yeah, the two eyeballs. That was funny. That he's like still alive, and he's like will talk and everything. Come on, that was funny. Give her credit, Cole. Come on.
Mm-mm.
I know you blew air out of your nose from that.
No,
Yeah,
I did not.
you
I was
did.
literally rolling my eyes.
But Turkey basically has his son's soul fly out of the meat patty and fly into the DVD copy, which Nomi has in the backpack that she took from the dumpster. So Turkey ends up going there. Oh, my voice cracked there. Woo. So Turkey ends up going to the place where Jeff goes over because he thinks his pike is here. Where he's like, guys, it's my pike. My pike's
And then
finally
he gets
here.
fucking eviscerated.
It just cuts him eviscerated. He just turns and he goes, guys,
yeah,
my
nothing
pike
happens
has arrived.
at
And then he's
all.
just dead.
Yeah, you don't get to see it. You just see his body parts in shambles, and that's it.
That's funny. It's a joke. It was a good joke. But
I'm not
in his
laughing.
defense, his pike was there. He just so happened to get killed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cherokee shows up to try to claim the DVD, but then Uncle Donnie, Nomi, and Flois escape with the DVD into somewhere else.
Turkey Purgatory?
It's like the Feather World.
Yeah, the one with like the wise turkey.
Yeah, they go into the Feather World somehow. And basically that's where they come in contact to Wise Turkey, who basically tells them like, you have to, Uncle Donnie, you must protect Nomi. And because Turkey's evil, because most turkeys accept their fate when they get consumed, but Turkey is evil because of the feather cloud. And so therefore they have to defeat him like once and for all, because if he gets a copy of the DVD, he can launch the evil on the world or something.
Something like that.
And so they return back, and I don't remember where Turkey went during that time. Well, what happened is basically they return. That's when the worm and Moth show up.
Yeah, Rhonda Worm and Muff Robot.
Yeah, the Muff Robot. They're like side
There's
characters.
like they have like a couple scenes beforehand, like they're walking around when all the copies of Thankskilling 2 are getting destroyed,
Yeah, they
and then they're
also are on a quest to destroy all
walking
copies
in
of
a
Thanksgiving 2.
desert.
Rhonda's a
Something like
horny
that.
worm. Rhonda's the worst character for me. I hate the Rhonda worm.
The Rhonda Worm is pretty annoying, but I don't think anything beats Flois though.
Oh yeah, Floris. Okay, Rhonda worm's the second worst. Well, no, Floris
Yeah.
dies. Okay, we get that satisfaction.
I was like, thank the Lord. Chainsaw through the mouth. I was like, yes, get this gross ass pile of shit out of here.
The Lord was ready for her for the sloppy.
Oh yeah, and then obviously when Flois dies, you get the little callback to the first one where Jefferson's like, "Come up to heaven, mother. Here you go." And also, I got my pike.
Yep. But yeah, the Rhonda worm and Muff show up, and basically there's a whole fight with Turkey. But Uncle Donnie manages to, Turkey's going to kill them. But Rhonda worm and Muff show up, and Turkey gets argument with the Rhonda worm, which gives Uncle Donnie enough time to activate the Plugmaster 1000, which he hasn't turned in a long time for a specific reason, which he talks about later. And turns on, throws Turkey in to basically like evade to kill him, and that's where we learn from Rhonda worm that they're to destroy the worm. But we know that what was his name? The kid's name? It's like Nibla.
Yeah, Nibla.
Yeah.
The one that's in the DVD copy.
Yeah,
now.
Nibla's soul's in the DVD copy. He has a little head where the turkey's face on the DVD cover was. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's a charming little thing, Cole.
No.
That's an interesting little idea.
You're not convincing me.
I think I'm doing a damn good job, and you just can't admit it. I'm not saying that you don't need to hate this film. I'm just trying to convince you that this isn't as terrible as you think it is. I'm like Will Ferrell in that Christmas movie, Spirited.
I haven't seen
Spirited Away. Oh,
Spirited Away.
It's like Spirited or something. It has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah, that one with everyone's favorite, also Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. It's not the worst. I'll give that movie that. It's not the worst thing. But they want to destroy the copy with the anal vortex that Muff has.
also referenced to as muff diving.
All right.
That's why that robot was probably called Muff, so they made that little joke.
What's muff diving?
I don't even.
How is that like a reference if you don't even know what it is?
Well, do you want me to get graphic?
Yeah, sure, why not? If it's really bad, I can just edit it out. I'll just have a long censored beep over what you're saying.
Yeah, it's vulgar slang for.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. I don't think I have to censor that. But so they want to destroy it, but Nomi doesn't want to destroy Nibla. And so there's the whole thing. But Turkey comes back to life. He summons these skeletal turkeys.
These, yes, skeleton turkeys, and they restructure him, but they forgot his dick.
His penis got like destroyed, but
And
he
then
attaches.
he put a chainsaw on his dick area, and
then-
that's where we get the little Evil Dead reference.
Gravy.
Gravy.
And so Turkey and the skeletal turkeys attack once again. And in the ensuing struggle, they manage to defeat the skeletal turkeys, but Turkey kills Flois, which was good.
Thank God.
When I say unfortunately, I mean unfortunately, Turkey kills Lois pretty tamely and not brutally as was deserved of her fate.
It should have been brutal, but we can't have nice things in the world.
Oh well, but Turkey does manage to receive Nibla and escapes into the furnace, which we mentioned earlier, which is where Turkey Hell is.
Yep.
Yeah, Muff loses the anal vortex, and basically Rhonda Worm and Nomi decide to go into Turkey Hill. Uncle Donnie gets left behind. They're like, Uncle Donnie's like, "But I need to protect you," and they're like, "No." They put on these disguises, which is just a beak.
It's just a little beak, and then that fools these skeleton turkeys.
Yeah, later they go into
like frat bros.
They go into the.
Oh no,
cool
we get the rats that are sniffing each other's asses. Also,
You're jumping way far ahead in this conversation, in this discussion right now. They go into
I want this
Turkey
to get over
Hell,
with.
which is a neat little set. It's charming, you know. I like the set of Hell, Turkey Hell. But they go through there. They manage to trick the skeleton turkeys, but you have to understand they're attracted to the Nomi turkey because you got to remember this is Turkey Hell. They probably think that they were horribly disfigured when they're like cooked alive or something.
Yeah.
But they go through there and they manage to find. Unfortunately, Turkey manages to attack Nibla into his device, which begins the brutal murdering of people who I assume. Or some of them are Kickstarter backers. I know one of them is the director. The director is the very first kill we see when the device gets activated. I think the other people that get killed in it, I think they might be Kickstarter backers. So I think it might be possible.
Oh, that little like dubstep music video sequence where you see those dead bodies.
Yeah, where they're getting killed.
Yeah.
I think it also might be possible that it might have been the guy in the glasses, might have been the nerd from the first movie, Darren. I'd have to look it up. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna figure this out if this is Darren from that movie's in it.
Let's see if. I mean, I have the IMDb pulled up too. Let's.
I'm gonna figure it out. No, he was only in the first movie. He was never in the third one.
Yeah, I don't see him on there either.
Womp womp.
It's just they're just referred to as guest deaths 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of them is a director. I think, or at least one of them looked like the director. I think it is. I could be wrong, though. But they killed, but luckily, Rhonda Worm distracts Turkey by revealing that he's actually a dude and he got his dick cut off at some point in a fishing accident because it was used as bait.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives Nomi enough of time to get Nibla off the thing. But that's when Turkey reveals his ultimate weapon, Franken Turkey.
Blarth.
Yeah, he wants to be called Blarth. But that's a cool costume. You know, the big Franken Turkey monster. That was a pretty cool looking thing.
You're not convincing me.
This entire thing is just me stopping and go, hey, that's pretty good. And Cole going, no. Bah
No.
humbug.
Yes, I am Scrooge to this. I am the Scrooge to this movie.
You're going to be haunted by the ghosts of Thanksgiving, past, present, and future, Cole. And then at the end, you're going to go, what day is it? It's Thanksgiving. There's still time. Ninjedi, the movie is still a 1 out of 10, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'll be like, that's all I want. And we'll sing. We'll
What are
sing
we
the
gonna sing?
we'll sing the opening bit of Thankskilling, the musical.
Oh, okay.
But they get chased by Frankie Turkey, but they manage to escape. And then Uncle Donnie gives we forgot to mention, but in the ensuing attack, Turkey he also cuts off Nomi's hand, which kills her before she gets away. And then Uncle Donnie puts his hand up Nomi's a
Hole.
hole because she's a puppet, which I guess
Yeah,
brings her to
because
life,
that's
or
where
that's a joke, and she was just
Rhonda
unconscious.
explains to Uncle Donnie that yeah, her like species is part of this puppet base species or something. I don't remember.
Something like that.
It's something like that.
But yeah, later when it comes out, Uncle Donnie goes for a fist bump, but he goes for the stub hand, and he just awkwardly bumps it. That's a funny joke, Cole. I know it's above you. It goes over your head what humor is, but that's a funny joke.
Uh-huh.
And they said, but
Uh-huh.
Turkey does come back, but the wise Turkey also appears and transforms them into an 8-bit game where we get a nice rendition of the theme in 8-bit. It's pretty neat bit. Pretty neat 8-bit. Wait, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just groaning.
It came off really weird. But yeah, Rhonda Worm accidentally gets killed by Muff or for the time being gets accidentally get killed. So Muff shoots himself in the
Yeah.
face. But then Turkey comes back and they need to activate the ass vortex from Muff, which they struggle with because Muff died and they don't know how to activate the code. And in the struggle, unfortunately, Wise Turkey gets killed by Turkey, allowing him to return back to his full form. But luckily, Rhonda Worm comes to life and regrows, allowing him to activate the ass vortex, and which then allows him to not only defeat Turkey, but they also have to. Nomi gets her piece of her mind back, and she has to die with Nibla, even though Uncle Duddy doesn't want to, because we forgot to mention his backstory. Basically, he had a wife and kid, but he was so focused on Thanksgiving line, he sends them to get a bunch of thing of stuffing. But unfortunately, wolves love stuffing, and they got a side of wife and child from it. Laugh, laugh,
No.
Cole.
Fuck this movie.
But anyway, eventually, Uncle Donnie does decide to let go and to move past the suffering that he has, and lets Nobi get vaporized in the ass vortex along with Nibla. To which then he then decides to put all his efforts into opening up Thanksgiving Land with Rhonda Worm and Muff, which he repaired using the Gibbling Machine 1000, the original copy, fixes up Muff, and they pursue their dream of doing Thanksgiving Land. And roll credits. Touching scene. Best film we ever saw. Anything you want left to add, Cole?
No. I'm done with this.
You're done. Your Thanksgiving legacy. No, you have to watch the Thanksgiving musical now. You gotta find that on YouTube or something.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about the musical for a second.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add. I think I've tried my best. I didn't convince you, Cole, because you're just a Scrooge.
Yeah, because it's a pile of shit.
Just like your tastes in bad movies.
But yeah, now after we are done with talking about the movies, Ninjedi, which one was your favorite of the two?
Well, as much as I would love to say Thanksgiving 3 to piss you off and to annoy you,
To
I
really
have,
piss me off,
yeah,
yeah.
I have to give it to Hard Ticket to Miami. I mean, Hard Ticket to
Hawaii?
Hawaii. They're the same place. They're the same place. Who cares?
Hawaii and Miami are not the same
They
place.
sound the same, and that's enough for me. But yeah, there's some genuinely good things. There's some really goofy scenes, like the skateboard scene. You have the genuinely good stuff, like all their cool airplane shots from when they're flying in the air. There's some genuinely good things, and
Deadly
arguably,
frisbees.
yeah, there's some good scenes
Lukas.
that should have not even been discussed in the first place, because this was way too good of a movie, really, for a film about terrible movies. But what else is new?
Yeah.
Cole, what about you? Your pick is Thankskilling 3, obviously.
Yeah, no fucking way. Nope, it's Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It was much better. Maybe it was because I literally watched that about 15, 20 minutes after Thanksgiving 3, and I was just in so much agonizing annoyance that this was just all right.
All right. So there we go. Hard Ticket Hawaii wins. I think you're now winning. You're up 4 to my 3. And then
Yeah,
the
four,
retro pick
three,
has
and
won.
one.
And hey,
Yeah,
a
so
retro
it's
movie won
4-3
again.
to 1 for me, and then 4-3 to 1 for modern.
Yep.
All right, now we are on to questions now.
All right, we only got 2 questions this time.
Damn.
But who knows? Maybe they'll be good questions. We'll
We'll
start
see.
with our first one. Right? Mattias, he technically has 3 questions, but they're all pretty much the same. So
Okay.
they're all tied, which is, question 1, are you guys into Legos? Question 2, if so, what are some of your favorite sets? Question 3, what are your dream sets? So yes, I do like Legos. They are fun to make.
I haven't played with those since like, I don't know, it was like 12.
Damn, buy yourself a Lego set,
Yeah.
son.
Eh.
They're fun for all ages. Go out there, buy a $200 Lego set for like the fucking, I don't know, the Rolling Stones magazine logo or something.
The Rolling Stones magazine logo.
Yeah, the lips. A set I know I loved back when I was a kid. There's like the Battle on Hoth Lego set. Not on Hoth, on the fucking it's the base. The base in the third movie that they have to infiltrate. There is that Lego set.
Endor?
Yeah, Endor. There's that Lego set there. And my friend had it, and he already built it, and we fucked around with that a lot. So I asked for that for my birthday, which I got. And I had a blast making that. And it has, like, the doors. There's, like, these bungee press that open up the doors. And, the doors can slide open on the inside. And you got the different Lego figurines, which are always fun to play with. You also get to build the two-legged walking things that the Empire has. There's a lot of like really cool stuff you can build. That's like the only ever really big set I ever got to really use. Like I usually get a lot of the smaller sets, like build like an alien, or here build these like spiders from like the Lord of the Rings movies. But that was like a really big set I had that I always really enjoyed, messing around with. What about you, Cole? What's a set you loved as a kid?
I don't even remember what I had actually. I think they were just more like character pieces. That was like it. It was like I had like Mandalorians, Clone Troopers, was stuff like that more of.
Yeah, I
But
remember
I did play a lot of the Lego Star Wars games though.
Oh yeah, those slapped. The Lego Star Wars games are awesome.
Yes. That was another one too with like a childhood friend of mine. We hung out at his house. We played that for like the night for a sleepover. I think it was on the PS2, I think it was. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, me and my friend we played it on the Wii because that's what he had.
Yeah, because then I remember I got the Wii one, and then because I think that was I can't remember which one that was. Was that the Complete Saga where you could like customize your own character on it too? And
I think all of them do that, but I know the Complete Saga definitely did.
Yeah, that's what I remember doing.
Got any sets you hope get made in future that you might want to buy?
I don't know.
You know?
Do you have any dream sets?
Not really. There is a set I do want to buy that I think is really cool. The NES, Lego NES pack set. It's like a TV that plays Mario. You can like do a round with. It looks really cool, but it's like $200. It's really expensive. So I'd have to like wait on that. But I think that'd be cool. There's none that I really think, oh my god, that'd be so cool. There was like a Lego set of that. Because knowing my luck, there already is one. I'm going to look like a fucking fool. All right, with that question, last question we have from Robert, our good friend Robert, who made the logo. His question was, have you ever been in a movie or made a movie?
I have not.
All right, but have you been in a movie?
Nope, but I wish. I would honestly want to twist the knife on it. Is there a movie you would like to be on? Or is there like a certain type of genre you would want to be in, something like that?
I would love to be in a David Duchovny movie.
Of course you would.
I would totally 100% be in one of those. Like, cause let's be real here. If I was in like a movie, I would be like an extra. Like, I'd watch the
Yeah,
film,
same.
hoping to God that my scene that I'm in actually makes it in. Cause you always hear stories of people going like, "Oh yeah, I was an extra in the movie," but then they cut my scene that I was in. So, oh well.
Or like how Moist Critical talks about that one scene he was in the Hunger Games,
Yeah, they
Mockingjay.
cut the scene because that he would have taken all the
Yeah.
screen time away from everyone else.
Yeah, but you can like see part of his elbow in it though,
That is true.
as they're doing the little salute, if you look very closely. But honestly, if I was oh boy, if I was in anything, to be honest, I kind of would want to be like in a saw trap.
Oh, so you can die?
Yeah, see how they would kill me on the screen and all that, and
Hello,
what kind of
Cole.
trap they would make.
I want to play a game. You said Thankskilling 3 is the worst thing you've ever seen. Well, I
Okay, that's
beg
not
to
the
differ.
worst thing I've ever seen, but
If you
there, are
don't
you happy? I admitted
successfully
it.
write a good review of Thankskilling 3, these
In
fucking
60
turkey
seconds.
giblets will fill their container, drowning you. Can you see the good and the bad, Cole? Let the games begin. I can't do it. No. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun
You
dun.
got the Hello Zep overture playing.
Ah! It's so bad though. No.
It will be a much better acted scene though than whatever that ending to Spiral was.
That was a bunch of nonsense. Now let me answer. Have I ever been in a movie? No. I have been on the news a couple times though.
Ooh.
Nothing too major. I've been on the news because I was at a event for cancer because my sister had cancer and it was like a one of those like charity things. So I was there. I was a
Okay.
kid, so I got there. Also, I was an ROTC in high school, and we were able to do an event at the Padres stadium where we got
Hmm.
to go on the field and like wave the flag. And then on the news, like in the background, you see us walking away, like in the news feed where they're like the sports commentators were walking in, and it was showing up like on the big screen. So I stuck my hand out and I moved it around, and you got to see in the background of the screen. So
Nice.
I can, if I ever find that, I'll find it and I'll send it to you, and I'll be like, see that guy movie
Please.
he's hand around like a fucking dumbass? That was me. I was in that.
That's literally me, man.
Have I made a movie? Technically, a real movie? No. But I have recorded stuff as a kid. I've done those dumb little Lego movies. Like I used the family camcorder with like the tape. But my true magnum opus was something I made in middle school. Because there was this project, there was this we were doing a thing about the human eye, and she was like, okay, you need to write a report or like make a presentation. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds boring and miserable. But then she goes, oh, but for extra credit, you can make like a video. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that. So I made an animated movie. And when I say animated, what I mean is I drew pictures on a piece of paper and I taped it to a wall. But there was one big flaw with the movie was my dad would not let me record. He was gonna do it. It was like he's like, "Oh, you can do the thing and you can say the lines." Then I'll stop and pause it, and I'll stop it because we had the camera. You have to play, then you have to
Mhm.
pause the tape because it was like a tape thing, and then you have to start up again. And the problem is though, I knew the lines. I knew when to stop. My dad didn't. So for a good half of the thing, I'd have to nudge my dad and go, "You need to stop it. You need to stop the thing." Like I said the lines. You gotta stop. Oh, also to note, my mom and dad, they hated it. They hated the fucking movie I made, or they
Ugh.
hated the process. So they look at the script. They only saw the first half, because I had one half written down and I had the other half like put away somewhere else, and they only read the first half. It was like, there's nothing but the eye.
Ninja die.
You didn't fucking do anything. Oh, name drop. Well, I'm gonna have to edit that out. I'm gonna
I know
have
your
to.
name now.
I'm gonna censor that in the episode. Then my name's Ninjedi. You don't know that.
Okay.
Ninja die.
I'm editing out this whole discussion now, by the way. This is all gonna get edited out.
You just doxed yourself.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna edit out, I'm gonna put Ninjedi in, and then no one will know the truth.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like dubbed over.
I'm gonna do a really shitty dub. I'll just do a voice text to speech thing. But they're just like, oh, this is like really bad. It's like, no, the second part has like more like actual stuff. This first bit's just funny. The story is a guy needs glasses, doesn't get black glasses. He falls out a window. He gets knocked unconscious. He has a dream where he's in like the human eye, and goes to the brain, travels through the eye to the brain to pretty much get like released to return. You know, kind of like your standard tape your teacher plays for you from like the 80s to explain. It was pretty much that. And then at the end, I just give a whole explanation about the eye. The thing is, my dad had to leave like halfway through. By the time we get to like the second half, he had to leave to like pick up my sister from somewhere. And then suddenly the production became a lot more smoothly because I knew when to stop and start. And so basically at the end, I put the tape in a VHS case, and then I just gave it to my teacher. I was like, "Here you go." And then I got a 55 out of 50 on it. So clearly my parents had no idea what they were talking about. And that's my magnum opus. It's probably sitting around somewhere. I should like upload it onto my computer. I should like send it to someone to give it like a 4K treatment upgrade. And then I can sell it on like 4K. That's what I should do. Sell my magnum opus of cinema. And there we go. That's the movie I made, my masterpiece. And that's all we have for questions.
All right. So now on to after questions, now on to movie recommendation.
All right. I guess I'll just go. I'm the retro pick. So next episode, It's going to be December. It's the holiday time. It only makes sense to recommend a holiday movie.
Okay.
And I'm going to recommend, we've both seen this, but I'm going to recommend a classic that we have to watch in December. We're going to do 1978's The Star Wars Holiday Special.
Fuck.
You'll love it.
Oh my god.
You'll have a blast, Cole.
Holy shit.
And I should also note, I own this on Blu-ray.
I have so like at our state fair, we found a DVD of it. It might be in my sister's room still. I don't know where it is though.
Well, we're gonna have to bother. Well, it's on YouTube.
It is. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah,
You
if
watch
I can't
it
find
there.
it there, I'll watch it on YouTube.
But you should try to find your copy from your sister because that'd be way more interesting.
Shit.
We both already watched it.
I never thought I would revisit this, but
it's been like 2 years since I watched it, so it's probably worth a rewatch for me.
I think it's been like almost 3 for me.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll have a more appreciation for it now after watching Thankskilling 3.
I'll probably hate that one too.
We'll see.
Because I'm a cynical person.
So what what are you gonna recommend, Cole? Are you gonna recommend A Christmas Carol? Gonna recommend Home Alone?
What?
Gonna recommend fucking, I don't know, Arthur Christmas?
No, I am actually going to recommend a movie from this will be the first movie from one of my favorite actors, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, and I remembered I had a Blu-ray of this. I bought like 3 years ago, I think. And I haven't watched it yet. And I saw the Blu-ray, I was like, we're doing this. So Nicolas Cage, also with Hayden Christensen, 2014's Outcast.
All right, there we go. So you don't want to get spoiled for the Star Wars Holiday Special or Outcast. Remember to watch these films in advance. And hey, why not ask us some questions in the YouTube comments so we can answer them. And you can go, wow, these were some shitty answers. But, yep, good episode. Everyone, you all have a good day. And have a happy Morbius.
Happy hard ticket to Hawaii.
Happy Thankskilling 3. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.